Whatever the hour, whatever the film or the Eurovision drama, it's coffee time. This is Emmanuel calling from Coffee Break, where we take a break and discuss about films, Eurovision, and much more. Grab yourself some bag of hot tea or coffee, take a sip, and let's dive into this. Let's talk about one battle after another. When their evil enemy resurfaces after 16 years, a group of ex-revolutionaries reunite to rescue one of their own's daughter. This film comes to us from director Paul Thomas Anderson. I have watched a few of his films, There Will Be Blood and Phantom Thread, which I own on Blu-ray. I love, but Punch Drunk Love and The Master I found fairly inaccessible. I mean, The Master is, no pun intended, a masterful film with excellent performances, but there was something about its thematic material that I found very impenetrable. And Punch Drunk Love is just a film that happened to not jive with me at all. Whereas, as I said, There Will Be Blood and Phantom Thread are both brilliant in their own rights. So I believe that I'm in the minority of cinephiles by saying that I'm not a humongous fan of Paul Thomas Anderson's films. He takes various genres or stories that in the hands of another filmmaker would be made in a very conventional way. And I'm very happy to report that One Battle After Another falls into the category of his films that I really like. I might actually love this film. Leonardo DiCaprio is excellent. His energy and his underlying sense of humor, but he also conveys a lot of sincerity and humanity through this performance. It's comical and it's emotional in places, and I love the fact that he doesn't care to appear more sophisticated as a performer. He throws himself in this film, both figuratively and literally. Teyana Taylor is also very compelling in the first act of this film, and young actress Chase Infinity shines throughout the rest of the runtime. Sean Penn shows up in a villainous supporting role, and he's absolutely brilliant. He's in a whole nother universe compared to his fellow performers. He's so over the top and chewing the scenery in every single scene. He commands the screen every second that he's on it. It's a terrifying performance, it's a hilarious performance. It almost reminded me of George C. Scott's performance in Stanley Kubrick's Doctor Strangelove film, where nobody in that film knew that they were making a comedy, except for George C. Scott, who almost ruined the film. Granted, One Battle After Another is filled with chuckle-worthy moments and moments of underlying or dark humor, which also lends itself to social commentary. This film does have messaging, alright, but it doesn't do it in a heavy-handed way. The pace is excellent, it flows so naturally, and it's edited so beautifully. Johnny Greenwood composed the score for this film, and it's one of my favorite musical scores of the whole year. It's minimalistic, very piano-based, the instrumentation is beautiful, and almost has this wicked energy to it. This is very much so a Paul Thomas Anderson trademark. Another director would have felt they need to include more classical cinematic music throughout both his dramatic scenes and in the action scenes that are in this movie. But Paul Thomas Anderson and Johnny Greenwood decided to detour from that more classical direction and provide us with something far more subversive and experimental almost. But this film is not targeted solely on cinephiles. This is a film for mass audiences, and it has made quite a bit of a splash in social media. As I said, this film tackles a lot of very current and timely subject matters: revolution against the corrupt authorities. It also deals with themes of parenthood. There is a father-daughter relationship in this film that was the emotional heart of this movie, I would say. And it's all balanced beautifully in this thought-provoking and gripping ride. When it comes to issues I have with this film, there are very few and far between. This film clocks in at 3 hours almost, and I can't say that it fully warrants its lengthy runtime. There were moments in the final act where I couldn't tell where it was going, and that provided some pacing issues for me. I was never bored while watching it, but on hindsight, I can see portions of it being trimmed for a tighter pace, particularly in the second half, in the back half of the film. The first half blows along, it's brilliant. It's in the second half where, again, I wasn't bored per se, but I did feel sort of an exhaustion in not really knowing what the direction was exactly. But there is an action set piece in the final act of the film, a vehicular chase, a car chase, if you will, and it was captivating. It was kinetic, it was thrilling, and again, not in a conventional or showy fashion. The direction in that scene and the editing and the musical score all made it resemble a wonderful piece of music. This film had me laughing, and it had me glued to the screen and on the edge of my seat. I was engaged with its characters and its thesis, and the performers here are fabulous across the board. There is a lot to unpack here. There is complexity here, but it's all done in such a simplistic and naturalistic way that it nicely moses along. I'm going to give One Battle After Another an A minus. And that is a wrap. Thanks so much for watching, I do appreciate it. Also, make sure to follow me on multiple social media platforms, including Letterboxd, for more film-related content, and the Awards Expert app for real-time Oscar predictions. The links are in the description. Can't wait for more coffee breaks. And until next time, pour yourself a fresh one.